I'm talking with Bruce Rowland, and we've talked earlier about the figure and the nude, but another subject in his repertoire is the still life. And Bruce, you're holding a still life there, ham and eggs, and an interesting composition to paint. I'm sure there's an influence there that when you do a still life, there's so much of establishing the composition. What do you do in selecting what you're putting into a composition like that versus the quinces on this side?
Yeah, I get ideas once again from old masters and some of their ideas. The lovely thing about still life painting though is that you actually compose with the objects themselves before you start painting. You place them, the placement of the knife, the way the knife sits across there, the angle of that egg compared to this egg here. Once again, that's sort of creating that curve. That curve is related to that plate, comes around the top there, picks up here, comes around there. So those little subtleties happen in there when you're working. Once again, textures are important. The texture of the metal can, oil can at the background, the knife blade, the texture of the eggs, the texture of the actual lump of ham, and I always work directly from the objects in the studio. So winter's usually the better time to be working. Summertime, when it gets hot, you don't want fruit decaying in front of you and ham starting to smell. So yeah.
The practical side of a still life.
The practical side of still life painting, yes.
Do you prefer still life painting to figure, or?
No, not really. Still life has always been something which I've enjoyed doing. It's a challenge, and once again, in some of my figure compositions, there are objects within that, within those paintings, which are still life objects. So I have to be confident enough to be able to paint that. And just recently, I worked on a painting where I had a landscape in the background. So once again, I had to upgrade my skills in landscape.